Parce qu'on a un GPS.
Funktioniert.
Je crois que toi t'en as un, mais pas nous.
Putain, en plus le skin il est magnifique.
All right, there we go. That was T-Far readjusting itself for our stream. Only a warm-up of 5 minutes. I think that's going to be changed. And let's see, the wind gets stabilized when I lower myself. And there's TeamSpeak all ready to go. Final player count, we're at 76, but 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. 83. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be about an 83 to 85 person operation. But anyway, how are you all doing today? My name is Liru. I like to commentate the OFC operations that are done every week on Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though they usually start a little past that as they get everyone sorted. But otherwise, today we have a really interesting operation. Normally, OFCRA has been focusing primarily on modern operations and then minorly on World War II operations. So this is a bit of a treat because they're going very out of left field here to do the Sino-Vietnamese War of 1979. So it's between the Vietnamese and the Chinese. So for Blue 4, it is going to be the Vietnamese.
Check Germans.
Check.
And as a reminder, OFCRA is a multilingual community, so you're going to hear people speaking English, French, Czech, and a little bit of German as well. There might be some additional things past that, but we see some of the Vietnamese faction here working together. I even see some shotguns in play. I assume he's a medic. Oh, they don't have unit symbolism. Alright, so I would just have to assume, based off of the roster, yeah, there's no unit symbolism on either side. It's just the officer logo for who's in charge. So I'm seeing bolt-action rifles. I'm seeing some PPSHs. I saw an STG-44, some AT in the form of sticks, and we got some form of backpack there for some sort of weapon emplacement, and then some shotguns as well. Wow, wait, that's an M55 Riesling, too. And they're all oohing and awing over a flare over here. But the AO itself is as follows. The Vietnamese spawn in 2 separate locations based off of what squads they are, and the Chinese, which are OFCRA, also spawn in 2 separate locations. So it looks like primarily I'm seeing more people spawn back here. I think I see how this operation is taking fold here. So I'll break through the operations in just a second. So wow, it was only a 5-minute safe start. So I'll have to go a bit quicker here, but it looks like the Chinese have the better weaponry. I see that they have a Maxim machine gun that they can also utilize, but we're seeing AKs and SVT-44s. So the Chinese are definitely better armed in this sense. Just looking back at the other group here.
Going with.
Yep, AK. Actually, these would be Type 56s technically.
It's like RP, isn't it?
And then SVT-44s. We have a flamethrower in play. Oh, I'm gonna be watching Hitachi here. That's gonna be fun to see. I hope he's able to get some kills with that, because that's gonna be really entertaining. But otherwise, let me explain the objective. So the neutral objective for both sides today is to control this highway. It is a big capture zone. It's got a bunker position in the middle. I was flying over to it. We got another small bunker right here towards the southern edge. And I believe maybe up to the north there's going to be another bunker. No, that is it. All right. So small little central area to take control of. Otherwise, it's very open in this area. I was in a 506 Two-Kit Squirrel op in this area. And, you know, it's very hard to see past the tree line. It gets very, very condensed very quickly. So whoever controls this sector by the end of the match gains 4 points. There is another 4-point objective, which involves these 2 trucks here. As you can see, there are 50 cals on top. I'm not sure if they're usable or not, but they're definitely attached to the vehicle. If the Vietnamese blow up one of these trucks, they get 2 points. If they blow up both, they get 4 points. If the Chinese, again, OFCRA, are able to bring those trucks and hold them in this purple zone, which we have some OFCRA already here, then they score 4 points. And then, of course, you have the supremacy bonus, which I believe... Let me quickly tab out and check. The supremacy bonus is 2 points for 5 or less people alive. So, if the Vietnamese, Blue 4, get knocked down to 5 players or less, they get, the Chinese get 5 points. And if the OFCRA force, Chinese, are knocked down to 5 players or less, then Blue 4, the Vietnamese, get 2 points. This is going to be a very interesting operation here, especially since we kind of have a weapon difference here. The numbers are actually, I think, favoring Blue 4 because of this. I'm checking the scroll options here. Yeah, so Blue 4 has a bit of a numbers advantage here. I think someone is laughing because they killed themselves. Or they didn't get... Yeah. So Adam just killed himself, and that's why we're hearing his laughter. So...
Stop moving. Stop moving.
Wow. Literally died in the first minute. Adam, did you kill yourself?
No, I don't think. But the car, I think, just go through on me, or I don't know.
Yeah, because your dead body's behind, in between the trucks, and everyone's looking at your body, wondering what happened.
He just messaged me a fucked up XDs.
I didn't mean to.
hilarious, to be fair.
Yeah. How do I assemble the thing?
So,
Put it down on the ground.
well, I'm sorry to hear that you died already, Adam. I mean, I think that's a new OFCRA record for dying within 20 seconds of the operation start.
Is it in my
I'm
inventory?
proud of you.
Yes, put it on the ground.
Thank you.
Oh, my backpack.
I'm gonna have to mute myself now. But wow, that is a new record. Someone died within. I'm gonna have to fact check it, but like to get the official time count there. But that was at least within 20 seconds. I heard his laughter start, which I was like, oh okay, because I'm nearby one of the Blue 4 guys. But no, yeah. Wow. Amazing. I'm genuinely impressed. But anyway, Blue 4 has a number advantage of, you know, about 4 or 5 guys, but OP4 have the better guns. So Blue 4 mainly have like bolt action rifles and whatnot for this operation, the Vietnamese, whereas OP4 have full-on assault rifles for their squad leaders and SVTs, which I believe are 10-round clip-fed. I believe that would be the proper term, because the magazine's part of the gun, so it would be clip-fed, yep. But otherwise, Blue 4 are making their way. Most of the force are heading around the highway, whereas one of these squads is actually breaking to the northwest and is going, scratch that, northeast. And I think they're going to try to ambush the convoy coming in, because this convoy has a very long drive, but it also contains most of OP4's force. So Blue 4 get the advantage of, if they rush where OP4 starts, they can try to pick them off early on, but it's going to also factor in just how quick OP4 is able to drive here with their convoy and BTR 40s. What I've also noticed is that the trucks are actually being held up in this position. I think they're thinking that Blue 4 is not going to send anyone to go deal with it. I'm seeing a few more OP4 guys join in, I think just last second. I hope Adam is able to come back in, because that would really suck. Yeah, so Daedalus is coming in on a tech slot, but he just dropped dead. That's unfortunate. But I haven't seen Adam come back yet, so that might be it from... Jeez, I've never seen that before. That's very worrisome. But yes, we are on a 5-minute chat delay. I do apologize, guys. It's just how OFCRA likes to operate, and we have to respect their wishes for the stream. But I will do my best to answer your questions and get back to you guys when you write stuff in. But otherwise, OP4 at this little outpost here is trying to set up a little bit of a defense line on the road, which is stretching themselves out even further. We're seeing some guys build trenches. That's a little worrisome, because those trenches do stick out in the forest. But this position, good golly, it's very barren. You got a minor trench line here, but that's really it. And that's not even enough for if they had everyone at this outpost here. They would still have holes here. But otherwise, this is just the maneuvering phase of we're going to see where OPFOR pushes their forces. They're going to be content in keeping those trucks there for a while. And I think Command is also back here to give those orders. Yeah, so red lead is Bluck and NASA. NASA's my contact within OFCRA that keeps inviting me back to these events, so thank you to him for inviting me back, as always. And blue 4 lead is being done by Mikkel, who is armed with a shotgun. So I believe that means he's basically just going to be mostly on a command role here. He's got a nice YMA backpack to go with him. But I like their helmets with that little forestry on the top. That's from the Faces of War mod. Those are mostly Japanese foliage helmets to give the Vietnamese a little bit of a, you know, an extra concealment advantage. Otherwise, I could see Blue Force setting up in the capture zone early or coming around and trying to take out this OPFOR garrison. I think OPFOR is a little, how would I put it? Little ballsy to stay in there without trying to maneuver away from that zone. I would have pushed that garrison down to meet up with the convoy coming in and then moved in as a unified push, because the Chinese have the weapon advantage here with the better guns doesn't mean they're still not prone to, you know, getting ambushed and overwhelmed by bigger numbers. So I definitely see some sort of concave starting to form with Blue 4 as long as they keep moving. We still have Blue 4 Command moving up with this group to potentially try to check the OPFOR spawn point. But OPFOR, we're seeing a lot of driving in multiple directions here to get to the highway and the OPFOR AO. So I think that's why we're seeing all these vehicles go different ways just to check these roads out. Though one is about to hit a dead end. They might, I guess, do a dismount right here and continue on foot. That or potentially follow up the footpath. But those paths are, they're lightly marked, but they're going to be really tough to maneuver, especially going through the forests, which at this point are just really jungles.
So let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Yes, Granite is doing a Vietnam op tonight. I might actually play it because Paw Patrol is doing a charity thing, and I'm not Zeusing. So I might use this as an opportunity to drop by on Granite. So as I predicted, OPFOR is doing a bit of a dismount right here with this squad. This is one of their armed Dishkas, though. I'm surprised they're going to potentially derelict this, but I think we'll see if they continue to drive with it. But if they intend to move with those Vics, I would have... They could have probably just kept it, because I think that was the only armed BTR-40 they had. Still, I think the rest of these Vics are following this route, and now they've got the trucks grabbed. And it looks like those 50 cals are actually usable on the back. So yeah, they're taking full advantage. They got the lead one with 350 cals. And they're having these two BTRs recon the route. They got one that's armed here that's driving by. And then the other one is still a ways away. Also armed. So they had 3 armed ones and 1 unarmed one that they decided to bring. What did they leave behind? Another BTR, but that was also an armed one. So they had 4. Okay. And then they left behind this good working bus. What a shame. So I guess these OPFOR groups, as they're dismounting, this one's going to start combing Blue 4's area. And then we've got another OPFOR group over here of 4 guys that are just, I guess, going to comb around. It's a small fire team led by Sixor. I know Brewer did really well last match from 2 weeks ago. Ziki also did pretty well, so that's a decent team to contend with. This is one life, of course, so every man is going to matter here. But Blue 4, it looks like they're stopping short. And the question is why? So OFCRA has a base up here that they're trying to contend and keep under their control. The only route in it is going to either be from the lowlands. As you can see, the road connects all the way, or the highlands. So it looks like Blue 4 is predicting that OFCRA is going to take the northern area. And I think they're trying to set up an ambush just before the highway capture zone to go grab it. But as I say that, I'm seeing a squad start to move in. Also, I would guess gummy worms, because you can make, what's it called? Cup of dirt with gummy worms, and that's a very nice dessert that I used to make as a kid, and I still occasionally do as an adult, because I refuse to grow up. That's besides the point. So I think Blue 4 are trying to set up an ambush right here. I'm not sure if these guys are going to reposition. They do have AT sticks. But I think this group right here is going to be the call group to say, hey, the Vic's moving in. That's going to cause this group to collapse to the road and start engaging as this group closes in. But I'm not sure if they're going to keep moving to that fortification up there, or if they're just going to sit here and do ambushes. We also have this Blue 4 group before, I guess just on northern patrol, but they're going to run close to an OFCRA group over here. And since there's no helicopter, I'm actually going to turn down my render distance. Not too much, but about to that much, so I have a bit more better performance here. But OFCRA is being very loose in this forest, spread out by about 70 or 80 meters apart here. Got my friend Nubas here, who I confused as Nomas, and gave that Nomas in chat hope that there's a second one, but I always like to DM with him to wish him luck. But he, last time we played, he was the first guy to die. And that only took a few minutes, unfortunately. He got ambushed in a car by the Germans. We have the 5-minute delay to help prevent stream sniping. I would argue that with how much tactical development there is in OFCRA, you don't really need the 5-minute delay because, you know, like Friday Night Fights, I would understand. I hope we never get a 5-minute delay though for that though, because it's fast-paced action, so you can easily like go onto someone's stream and check out what the enemy's doing. But with OFCRA, because there's 2 hours, usually the first hour is committed to maneuvering, and then there's going to be some light contact. So in that hour, you're deploying your forces, getting them just right to where you want to put them before the contact really begins. Because with OFCRA, because it's such a long event, but it's still one life, the commanders value every single person. Because one person can make the difference, and we've seen that time and time again in these events. Like, even if one faction gets their head smacked in the first 30 minutes, they can still have a major bounce back, reconsolidate, and still win the event. Even when all hope is lost. I remember the embassy op that was done about 4 weeks ago. OPFOR was going to lose, but they still won because of how the event worked. And it looks like we had someone lag out. And Hood's now coming up to grab his AI. People can still reconnect back into their AI slots if they desync out. So now Hood's going to have to guide this AI back with his other players here. Looks like now Blue 4 is starting to consolidate into the highway. Now, Blue 4 has an advantage overall with the tactics of this game, because OPFOR, in order to score their guaranteed 4 points, have to bring the VIX up here. So I'm surprised that Blue 4 is not going to mount an offensive up in this region to weed out some of OPFOR, to then deny them the ability to get the 4 points by moving these trucks in here. I think they're actually going to start, but they're only doing it with half their force, which, granted, should still be enough to overpower this position, but with the amount of time it's going to take this convoy to get in, they've still got another 15 minutes. Because only now have these trucks gotten into where those two BTR-40s were, and it's been about 5 minutes, so honestly 15 to 20 minutes at this rate. I get that they want to keep this highway capture zone secured to at least guarantee the 4 points from the neutral objective, but what this shows me is, I don't mean to speak ill will of Mikkel, but I don't think he understands how slow the vehicles can be on this map. But I can also understand wanting to play it defensive, you know? Better safe than sorry, as they always say. So by playing it that way, he can still, you know, send half his force, take the outpost, deny the trucks to come in, and still guard the highway in case those trucks still do show up. And it's nice that he has his Blue 4 group that's looking around and trying to do recon here for those trucks, but I think they're just scanning for contact more than anything. Just as a, you know, what if they run into a group and slow down OPFOR? But other than that, it's kind of useless to have those guys over there, considering the two routes that OPFOR could take. If he sent two small teams, one up here and then one over here to overwatch this road, he'd have a better scenario here, but I think he's also sending these guys here to cover this bridge. And also look across the street here to make sure the trucks aren't coming that way. That's what this force is going for, because we see them on this MSR right here. So if they don't come from that direction, he's got the ambush up here to deal with if they come from that direction. I'm starting to see his plan now. But now you got Blue 4... Good gosh, this is going to be 6 guys defending from this angle, and then we have another 5 to the south, versus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, with an additional 4 in reserve. So this is a very heavy number fight. We're going to see if SVTs, if those 10-round clips are going to be able to do much against a wall of bolt-action rifles. Now, OPFOR, they do have a Maxim machine gun with them. It's got a decent fire rate. You know, it's no MG42, but it's going to be able to put a lot of bullets downrange. We're just going to have to see how powerful Blue 4's marksmanship is. We got Mr. White back here with a flamethrower. If he plays his cards right and waits for Blue 4 to come to him, and he hears their footsteps coming, he could do a lot of damage with that flamethrower. The one issue with the flamethrower, though, is that it has a very limited range. About, I want to say 10 feet tops. Only a few meters. Now, the man shouldn't notice anything because he is going guns up. He's looking around. Did he spot something, or is he just practicing? I think he's just being cautious. I do like how these guys have reinforced the trench line here with more stuff. Murdy's over here with the machine gun. He's trying to set up a decent avenue of fire. He's going to have to back that gun up a bit more, though, because it's in the ground a bit looking into the trench line itself. As Blue 4 starting to come from the direct north, slight northeast, actually. Oh, hold on. We're about to have Nakpena. Surprised he hasn't noticed these trenches to his left, but then again, looking at his POV, yeah, there's no way he can see them. I'm curious what weapon he has on his backpack for that. He's starting to spot out targets. He might have spotted Manshot here. He's definitely in range, and no one's looking at that vector because these guys are so stretched thin. Meanwhile, looking north. Yep, this Blue 4 group's continuing on. It's going to try to overwatch there. We got that first OPFOR squad heading up to Blue 4 right there. This OPFOR group, I guess, is doing overwatch on that hill to watch for Blue 4, potentially trying to ambush a convoy. And these trucks have picked up speed, actually. Looks like they went through this windy road instead to try to shave off a few minutes from their drive time, but it's still going to be about 5 to 10 before they get here. So I'm assuming this group is going to potentially be an Overwatch group because they've got some decent eyes on here. Murdy's Maxim is not going to have any good Overwatch on that, but it's going to have great Overwatch on these TRD guys coming in. And then you got these guys over here, which I believe are coordinating the attack. in reserve. Hold up, we just had Tackleberry fire upwards into the TRD guys. They actually tagged Tio. Tio's got the other backpack for whatever weapon emplacement that is, and Tio's gonna just stay there and bandage. Not the best idea, but now OPFOR knows something's up. I wonder if these guys are gonna fold back to reinforce. So Murdy's looking left with that Maxim gun. He's in a really good spot to take on this group if they start coming down the hill, and he could easily chew up these 4 Blue 4 guys. So we need Blue 4's northern group to start coming around. Otherwise, Mr. White's ready with the flamethrower in case they charge in. Got Tackle, who just knocked out Tio because he was staying up there, and there's the double tap. Tio is dead. So, First Blood officially going... Well, no, technically going to Tackle. First Blood technically went to the objective truck for killing Adam within 20 seconds of the start of the mission. That was pretty funny. Now you got the Maxin firing with, that's Murdy and Tackle supporting. No kills there, but we do see some hits. They're trying to crawl away. Both, Vinna appears to be crippled. Thear, sorry if I butchered that name, is trying to move away. They're trying to reposition. Knack here trying to stay low, hasn't been spotted or hit yet. And now we've got Manshot firing over at this Blue 4 group charging in. Will we see OPFOR hold? We have Shagger who's down. I believe he was picked off by Mancoat here. Yep. I think it's Manshot, actually. Oh yeah, the wind up here is pretty loud. That's just part of the map. There was an update like a year ago that did that to Tanoa, and any map based off of that would be really windy. But Murdy is dead. I think Knack finally found a good angle and took him out with his bolt action. That is the case. And Rizbo just got taken out by, I believe, the squad leader. Yep, with that M55 Rezane. No, that wasn't the squad leader. The squad leader's actually dead. Back here along with another guy. So I think Manshot's on 3 kills. But then again, Manshot's not spotted anymore. He was just picked off. Yep, so he was on 3 and then he got picked off. You want to be going 3-1 here, but not much you can do. I believe that was Knack who got the 2nd kill. Yep, he's close enough. He waited it out. Now he's picking people off as they come in. So now you've got Friendly Dino up here. He has a PPSH with a drum mag. That's a really good gun to have here in this CQC environment. Tackle and Jonathan are going to start hearing those footsteps, though, because Dino's sent up. Oh, he gets a great headshot. He took Jonathan out. Grenade being thrown right on Tackle there as he's trying to return fire. He takes some of that, and now Dino's coming up and he cleans them up. Again, there's no body armor, so these 45 ACP rounds, which I believe is the, it's that or 9mm. It's a small handgun caliber. He's going to be doing a lot of damage with that. So now Mr. White, he's going to lay low. He's going to wait for someone to come around here so he can burn them. And OPFOR are keeping their forces back here. Got an RPD trying to do some Overwatch. They might spot Dino running around. But if OPFOR continues to stay in small groups, they will get picked apart like this. And that's going to allow Blue 4 to loot OPFOR's bodies and take their guns. I assume they're also going to steal the Maxin turret too. So Dino, he's getting shot, trying to return fire now. He got cut out of position, and he gets shot by Zixme. Zixme we saw last week. He did a lot of work. He's treating that RPD as a marksman rifle, and he's getting some really good kills from a decent range with iron sights. Instead of going full auto, using single shot and landing consecutive hits to take out one of Blue 4's best guys because he had a PPSH for good close range clearing. But Blue 4 might know now that they heard gunfire from that vector. We are seeing 4 guys that were on the left flank starting to close in. And we have another Blue 4 group, and they're actually being joined by another Blue 4 group from, I believe, the garrison that was around the highway is coming in to help sweep up the rest of these guys. So far, what's our casualty list? 1, 2, 3, 4. On 4. There's a 5th one in there, though. So pretty even. If Blue 4 is able to trade evenly, though, they're going to win. I think Mr. White just had a shot land next to him. There's also an ammo cache right here for some of OPFOR's guns, so they can get resupplied. So White's best bet right now is to just hunker down, wait till he sees movement, get up, and see who he can burn with that flamethrower. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think a better bet for him would have been to hide in the tree line and just be in reserve, then move to the bullets, the gunfire, and just go up and start putting flames down on those positions. Because in this outpost here, he's an open target if he gets up. So this is kind of a suicide run for him there, because I doubt friendly forces are going to be able to come up and assist him. Alright, meanwhile, OPFOR are starting to get the convoy coming south. One of the BTRs has come around, and I think we just saw a pickoff kill. Yep, I do see a body here. That was Rick Hunter. As more TRD guys move up, that was Takara that got him. Now you got the RPD firing down on Ivif here. He's trying to get him with that STG-44. So far, they've only had one casualty, though. You're seeing some long-range fire firing up in that position. That was an M72 Law fired up here. So they're sending Takara over to try to flank Zix here. Again, Zix a really good player. He's with Flip for Flap as well. That AK is going to be really good. It looks like they're trying to smoke this position to potentially leave this spot because they know if they stay, they're going to get overwhelmed and killed. So Flip is falling back. Zix is covering. And now Zix is moving back, and I think they're going to meet up with their 3 OPFOR guys over here. So Daedalus, he joined a fill-in slot for OPFOR, but I think he went to a different slot so he could be over here instead. But now you got Blue 4 trying to close the gap right here. I think Zix just got killed. Yep. He stayed up there, tried to move a different way, and got picked off by Zagoda. But Zagoda is now down because he was shot, I think, by PHK, another really good player. So he's now trying to come around. He spots that squad coming in. Didn't score a kill, though. As Blue 4 is now continuing to close the gap. And you got Dominic there trying to check that base and make sure it's clear. So hopefully a medic will be able to get over to Zagoda to bandage him up. Daedalus has an opportunity to come around. He has a flamethrower. Oh, Daedalus. Oh, you're in the perfect spot, but he's pulling back instead. We got some of Blue 4 firing in the trees. Could be a potential blue on blue there. But I think OPFOR is going to pull back and regroup. They still have a radio to tell the rest of OPFOR elements that they're losing the outpost. But based off of the numbers, this was definitely intended. It would just be a matter of how far could Blue 4 take this area. So Mr. White's still holding strong with that flamethrower. He's going to wait for Blue 4 to drop their guard. But with Blue 4 having control of this outpost, it's going to be harder for OPFOR to retake it. $9mm, thanks, what's that? I was remembering for DayZ, but DayZ isn't always 100% accurate, so. Or 45 ACP? Yeah, it's one of the two. Yeah, it might have also been 7.62 by 25, so. Yeah, 7.62 by 25. It's one of those small handgun rounds. All right, let's see what Mr. White can do. Yeah, so the flames were going up right here and stopping short. He put too much faith in that flamethrower, unfortunately. He might have gotten a few licks on Dominic, but... Yeah, Dominic also stole a Type 75. So he did get hurt by it. We just saw some blood right there, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. again, the Flamers would be better off in the tree lines waiting for Blue 4 to move by, and then when contacts initiates, they can go in and get the kills. But Op4, meanwhile, pulling around. You got Daedalus here. He knows that strat. He might go back in. But he's got to be careful because Blue 4 is right here. But if he could jump these guys, get close with the flamethrower, he could get an entire group wipe here. And none of them are even paying attention. I think he's going to pull back with the rest of his guys, though. I'm also worried about Zagoda. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get someone to come in and medic him in time. But otherwise, Blue 4 is now in a really good position. They have control of the outpost, and they have control of the highway. What they should do now, though, is reconsolidate their force and set up an ambush. With the intel from this group watching these roads, they now need to send someone up this road to see if this is where the convoy is coming in. Because the convoy, it appears they either made a wrong turn or they're going to stop up here and hold and now go clear things on foot, which is good because they have an hour and a half left to do something like that. But Blue 4 now just needs to play defensive, and when the Op4 attacks come in, Blue 4 needs to have units on reserve to send around and attack Op4 on its flank and hopefully be able to overpower and push back the Op4 attacks. But Eva Lodi, thanks for the 2-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this. And we're having some blue on blue here. So Sejgana is going to bandage there. That is the TRD guys. SAG is part of the other team that assaulted this area, which is why they don't have those radio comms. But based off of PID, it's been pretty simple. You know, the tan guys with no leaves on their helmet are bad, and the raggedy guys with leaves on their hats are good. But I'm surprised I'm not seeing a lot of people switch out to take the bolt-action rifles here. I can understand not taking the flamethrower because it's a very niche weapon. But as I say that, we got someone with yep, someone took the Type... Gosh, I think it's the Type 37, but it's basically the copycat AK. Someone took that for their shotgun. Otherwise, that's been it. So, Sage Gunna is going to pull back here, get with friendlies, and, you know, just say, hey, I'm on your side. And Op4, they've got this really wide battle line they're starting to make. And they've deployed the trucks up here for now. And I think Command is just going to hold and let his groups go in. So Op4, it's a little worrisome because they have their forces really stagnated right now. And, you know, they've lost about a fifth of their force, but a little under that. But they've got survivors routing to the south. And they've got the rest of their force in a very large formation right here. Blue 4 doesn't know about it, so they're not going to be able to capitalize on it. But... you know, actually, that's an interesting question. Did a squad leader die? Yes. That's the radio antenna. So realistically, Blue 4 could take that and listen in on their comms. And then they could mount a counterattack effectively, but... for now, Blue 4, it looks like they're pulling this team back because they've rationalized that, hey, if they were going to come down... this MSR, Blue 4 would have spotted them by now, because it has been about 35 minutes. So with that extra manpower, they're probably going to bring it back to reinforce the highway capture zone. And we just have this large force right here, laying in wait for anything that Op4 is going to send down. I think if Op4 were to dedicate any of these single groups to the highway zone, Blue 4 would be able to overpower it. But if Op4 were to close their gap here, you know, not have it last over a kilometer on this battle line, instead just, I'd say, you know, a few hundred meters along the highway and just sweep it, they'd be able to find that Blue 4 force and comb around it. But I also understand they're just trying to make sure that there's no ambushing forces around, so when they push in, they don't have to worry too much about their flanks. But this 5-man, no, it's a 4-man team. That's concerning me a little bit to see what that might do. But we also have an OPFOR 4-man team moving around that could also deliver that flanking attack. And of course, the 4 guys that have routed can also still do some damage. Though one of them has a flamethrower, so they're going to have to get very close. But they still have radio capability. And for those of you that don't know, this is OFCRA. We do it every Thursday. They didn't do one last week, though, because the updates for Arma caused some issues with their server. I do this to contrast with Friday Night Fights, because where Friday Night Fights is a 50-minute one-life round where it's very fast-paced, OFCRA is a 2-hour one-life that has a lot of tactics and maneuvering around it. It's like they're checking on this guy's body, but that was... let me check the roster. That was Mosin, yep. So he died, unfortunately. Bled out. But I like the contrast of the tactics with OFCRA compared to the raw PvP action of FNF. So I think there's going to be another 15 minutes maneuvering. OPFOR is going to pick an objective. They're either going to go for the highway capture zone and check to make sure that it's clear, or they're going to go for the outpost. And again, if Blue 4 is smart, they're going to fold their units back and guard the highway, because it's going to be very unlikely that OPFOR is going to be able to get the trucks through the jungle. If not, impossible. Could they? If they're committed, I think so. They have an hour and a half to sneak things over there, so Blue 4 is going to have to at least keep one guy with a radio on Overwatch on this objective, but all they need to do is just have a guy, you know, take this fortification for where Avalon is. He's taking an AK too. Just watch it and say, hey, those trucks are coming. Or he can just be, you know, close by in a little forested area prone, listening to the trucks. And if he hears them, he can then radio in and tell Blue 4 to come back. But I mean, if an hour goes by and there's 18 minutes left on the clock and Blue 4 still has a lot of forces, they'd obviously pull to this area to prevent the trucks from coming in. But other than this stream, I've got the TM up at 10, and then I will either, for 8 o'clock, go to the Paw Patrol charity thing, or at 7:30 I'll go to Granite's Vietnam thing and play Vietnam thing on the ground, because I love playing Vietnam in Arma 3. You know, with the small size of the mod set compared to other mod sets, and the fact that it has almost everything you could ever want, it just makes for some good action. Alright, so one worrisome thing is we are starting to see an OPFOR group come in. They're going to run right into this Blue 4 group, though, and if Blue 4 reacts to it, they could easily encircle this force and wipe it, get their guns, and become more formidable, and that's going to be another force lost by OPFOR, and Blue 4 is just going to maintain a very nasty numbers advantage. Or this team is going to, with its superior weaponry, be able to beat back the force. But what do we even have right now? We got one guy ahead. It's Rigel with the RPD. We've got a rifleman with an SVT, 2 AKs, which are the Type 37s, a flamethrower by Nubis, and then another SVT, but with an RPG as well, for a shock weapon. So if they get the jump on the Blue 4 force, they might be able to overpower them. But wow, so OPFOR actually is now correcting to go south. And they might actually completely bypass the Blue 4 defense group. But if these guys are paying attention, they might notice Rigel run through the open field. Or maybe the Defilade is just going to be enough. Oh! No way! So that's Command running back. Did Rigel just spot him? No, he'd be going guns up and going prone. Yeah, so he is within 50 meters of hostile forces. I think Dave might have spotted something. He might have seen Blue Lead West running around. That's the name of the commanding unit.
So let's give him a warm welcome.
Yeah, so forces that were running around over here. Now you got Pogo walking around and looking up here. Pogo might have just spotted somebody. But I think both sides are starting to react to each other. Not sure if Blue 4 spotted anything yet, though, because they were already pulling security on that vector. But now they're going to know something, because Mr. Cool just opened up. This might be the nail in this OP4 squad's coffin, though, because I don't think they realize just how many Blue 4 guys are here. So if Blue 4 reacts by encircling this small OP4 force, it's gonna get ugly. So we got OP4 going around over here, but OP4 is going to start encircling this group, so Blue 4 can deal with them quickly. That might be all they need, but Goatland got picked off over on the right, so they're already a man down. But Callie gets picked off by Rygel's SVT. No, that's the, he's the RPD guy. But now Blue 4, you're seeing a large force starting to come around the flank, but OP4 has another squad coming in. Blue 4 could easily get overpowered here if they're not careful. And then Nubas has to somehow maneuver into a closer position to use his flamethrower. Here's Blue 4 charging 3 people. More reinforcements coming in, but OP4 is close behind. And they've sent their commander to the capture zone. Oh, wow. Look at that. Tries to fire on Gonzo. Isn't able to land the shot, though. Burns through his ammo, and he gets picked off by the PPSH. And then his battle buddy also gets picked off as well. They were able to get 2 kills, though, and trade evenly. That was Pogo and Gonzo going down. But they lost Mr. Cool and Sacred. Also, Mr. Dave got picked off at a different angle. And this Blue 4 force is starting to make mincemeat out of the remaining OP4 guys. But we do have OP4 coming in on the rear. Roland and Foxhound were just engaged. We have Stadler, that's down. He could have been shot by the opening engagement here. Roland getting picked off as he tries to move away. Foxhound bandaging because he took a hit. Now you got some of the Blue 4 guys turning around to try to engage, but they're going to be folding back. And now Blue 4 is looking pretty light here. And OP4 is going to be able to overwhelm this position. Because their platoon battle line enclosed on this Blue 4 force reacting to contact. Oh, Nubas, no! Carl Connor comes up and takes care of Nubas, eliminating him with the STG-44. I was so much hoping that Nubas would get close enough to use that flamethrower. Otherwise, Foxhound, he's trying to come over to Roland's position. He's going to see that he is down. That PPSH is a good gun to have at CQB, so in bandaging Roland, they're going to have OP4 come closer, and he might be able to get some kills. TMTM is at 10 p.m. EST tonight. Barb, I've never played Daybreak, so can't wait. So we still have Rigel that's alive. He did get a he's actually gotten 2 kills with that RPD. And he's looking up where Carl Connor and Ezio are. So, the Blue 4 numbers compared to OP4 numbers, OP4's actually sent that far left squad they had into the capture zone itself. This is going to put pressure on Mikkel here, because all he has is a shot, it's a single-shot shotgun. Which at CQC is probably going to be able to actually kill someone, but if they rush him, then he's screwed. I don't see Blue 4 winning this fight, though. They're outgunned and outnumbered. But Foxhound might be able to turn the tide with that PPSH. If he's quick. A launch shot by, I believe, it was either Barros or Weiss is going to force OPFOR to fold in a bit closer. Foxhound hears them, and he stopped bandaging. He might be able to catch Hugin out of position here. Yep, he's going to go for it. There goes Hugin. And his gunshots are overlapped by other Blue Force shots. But I think Garrett, Sky, and Adam are going to hear that. Okay, Adam was able to get respawned. Good. Because he died within like 20 seconds. It was hilarious. So Fox is crippled. He's looking around for others. Not realizing that they pushed down. That white smoke grenade is going to help conceal him. But he's looking the wrong way. So Garrett's run up. But he gets taken out by Carl Connor with that STG. It's a very powerful gun. And Sky Online burns! Oh, no! Oh! Oh, no! No! Sky Online burning Carl! Oh! And he burned Roland's battle buddy, too! Oh, the humanity! When those flamethrowers are able to get close, it's a death sentence. And I think they just burned Ground Command to death as well. Yep, and he also killed himself. As Ground Command, I believe, grabbed him. Oh my god. 3 flamethrower kills back to back. To back. So OPFOR has lost a big chunk of guys here, but still enough. We got one guy that's found a static, a Maxim gun. He's actually in a really good position to use it. I think his battle buddy was picked off of it, though. That's why he got off. Because Blue Force sent a team down to help counter this. Actually, that's all of... Yeah, no, it's part of Blue Force Force. They're sending the rest down to encompass the rest of these guys. But OPFOR is looking pretty light. Blue Force just been able to out-PvP OPFOR in this area because they've been on the defensive. So even though OPFOR's had all the fancier guns, it's been costing them. So you're still seeing, hearing some pick-off shots. They're trying to hit Settler here. And he's trying to roll away. He might have been hit earlier. We got Rigel, Adam, and Shay still in the AO. But the rest of Blue Force reserve is coming in, and that's a lot of guys. And they've already been in a firefight, so they know how to use their equipment. And they've been able to loot OPFOR bodies, too, and take some of theirs to help lessen the weapon advantage that OPFOR has. I don't know. OPFOR is looking pretty light because they've only got 2 teams of 4 on the outskirts with command. And then 1 team of 4 on the defensive. And then 3 guys on outskirts, whereas Blue Force is very consolidated here. If they were to close the gap, regroup, and recheck the highway zone because they know there's targets there. I think Settler also got shot in the back. Nope, he was able to regroup. Good. But I think these guys are going to be able to close, have the gap closed on him. Rigel, meanwhile, with that RPD, he didn't score a 3rd kill yet. But he's coming close. He's going to pop a new drum in. He's got Barros running up to him, but he goes behind the bush. Barros is going to be able to spot him, and he nails him. With, I believe, was a Mosin Nagant. Yep. So losing Rigel with that RPD is going to be a nasty blow to OPFOR because every high-powered automatic rifle that they can potentially lose the blue for is going to be an issue. Adam finding Sky's body. Nope, that wasn't Sky. Nubass's body. Is he going to take the flamethrower? I wouldn't in his shoes because of that limited range, but you never know with how close everything is. You just need to make sure your head is on a fucking swivel if you do that. I can still see OFCRA bouncing back, though, if they're able to repel this large attack on this bunker area. What do we have over here? We have an SVT. We have a second SVT. An AK, but with drum mags from the RPD. And then Luffy also has an SVT. Actually, no. I've counted Luffy twice. Shadowstalker has a regular AK. So 2 automatic rifles and 2 clip-fed rifles. Shouldn't be too bad. I think Barrows just got another kill with that rifle. He's on 4 now, and I am seeing an OFCRA guy missing. So Barrows has just been basically walking around trying to listen in on where more Chinese forces have been coming around. And he scored the kill. I'm racking my head trying to remember who he killed. I think it was Rigel. If not, that was the first guy he killed, then Adam. Yeah, so it was Adam and Rigel he killed. So Shay's still running down. If Blue 4... I forgot, Blue 4 had 4 guys that were off doing recon. They're coming in now. That's going to bolster Blue 4's force. But just look at all the skulls. And look at all the forces Blue 4 still has. This is going to be a very messy fight. And we still have over an hour left. So I think this is going to be determined in the next 30 minutes. Now we're back to maneuvering. Shay might try to make a small play. What's he equipped with? He has an RPD himself. So that is the best gun on the field, in my opinion. But look at this large Blue 4 force starting to sweep in. You got this force over here overwatching that bunker as this nice concave from the TRD guys and a few fill-ins from Dominic and Mr. Squirrel and Sajagona from the earlier assault. They're watching this compound like a hawk. They might spot Shadowstalker from their angle. Yeah, he could have his head taken off by Nakpena. And he's gonna have no idea. He's trying to lean over and look. I think he spotted Nakpena there. So he's trying to line up his gun. And the rain is starting. Oh dear. Soroka just walked up and iced a guy. Hunger hurt him. He might be able to have a shot. Isn't able to land the hits, though, as Sorkan comes over to where the other guy was taken out. He gets shot, unfortunately, because finally that AK is able to hit him. Ooh, SVT shot. Taking him out, but now we're just down to Hunger here. So far, it's been about 3 for 3. Counting Dominic down. So at least OFCRA is trying to trade evenly. More grenades being thrown over. Some F1s. If I was in Hunger shoes, I'd make sure I have a full drum loaded, set that to automatic, and get ready to fight for my life. Or I take the flamethrower. This bunker is perfect for the flamethrower. You just have to make sure you don't hit the walls next to you. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself like that other guy. So we got an STG-44 breaching in and an M55. 2 good submachine guns to do this. That's going to nullify Hogner's advantage here with that automatic weapon. And these 4 guys are being pulled back to go take the Vix. But OFCRA's numbers are few and far between. Vinny's about to poke around. Oh, man. So Hunger got stuck firing at Avalon, and just as Avalon was going around, Vinny turned the corner with that M55 and was able to easily take him out. But now you got Shay firing across the area here. Firing around that white smoke. He's trying to pick people up with that SV. No, he's got the RPD. Right. Good gun to have. Oh, but he gets his neck shot out by 6 EME. And he's double tapped. So as you can see, yep, so they spotted him with the binos, and they had Blake open up on him with the RPD from range, stolen by the original outpost attack. And that's what's worrisome when I try to point out when people have already fought before, they've got pick of enemy guns. So they're given what I like to say veterancy. You know how if you play a game like Men at War Assault Squad 2 and you have a group that survived for so long, they start getting better? I would equate that to being a thing in Arma 3, because as players fight with the gear they're given, take picks off of the dead to grab more grenades, grab better guns, they're going to perform better. The zone is a very real thing that people can get in. And if they're in that zone, well, you're just going to have another incident like what happened with Audrey Hotto in Friday Night Fights. The biggest clutch I've ever seen in any PvP game, period. Do I look at chat? Yes, but you got to remember, it's a 5-minute delay. So I only answer questions. Alright, so Blue 4 just has a massive amount of numbers left. Their ground command was killed off to that flamethrower, but all Blue 4 has to do is hold this area and send another team back to hold the outpost to make sure the trucks don't come around. We still have one guy, Ozzy, all the way back here. He's going to have a big run to do. But at this rate, I would be safe to say Blue 4 is more than likely going to win this round. Op 4 could still tie by sneaking the trucks through the forests and then holding the outpost. But that's very unlikely because we still have an hour and 2.5 minutes. So if Blue 4 waits for 30 minutes at the highway and knows that, doesn't see anything happen, they're just going to send forces down to the outpost instead. Now, strategy-wise, based off of the wording of the objectives, Op 4 only gets the 2 points per truck if they're in the zone. Otherwise, they don't score any points. Blue 4 only gets the 2 points per truck if the trucks are destroyed. So as long as Blue 4 holds the highway and prevents the trucks from getting in the purple zone, they'll win easily. Now, if Op 4 loses another, let's see, they got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If they lose 50% of their remaining force, Blue 4 will score 2 points as the supremacy bonus. So even if Op 4 gets the trucks in the zone, they're still going to lose. So I think all Blue 4 really needs to do right now is have 80% of their force on the highway capture zone. Not even that. 90%. Have 1 or 2 guys with radios go up to the capture zone for the trucks and see if Op 4 sends stuff down. Because all Blue 4 needs to do is kill 5 more guys. I don't think they know that because that information won't be announced to pronounced to them. But I think they should start thinking that, you know, they just killed a lot of Op 4 guys. They dealt with a lot of Op 4 guys up on the outpost itself. And this was about a 40v40. A little higher than that because it was about 83, 85 people. But Blue 4 should be feeling good right now. So as long as they just play defensive, they should be fine. But they still need to send a few guys down. To cover that sector, but it's messy. So, as I say, that Blue 4, they're holding this position, and I think they're going to send the 6 EME guys up, either down the highway or over to the outpost to overwatch it. And that's going to be it. So chat, as OPFOR does their last bit of rallying, they've sent 4 people back to HQ elements. I think they're going to take the trucks. They might just try a Hail Mary and drive by the highway with 350 cals. That's a decent strat. I mean, with all that firepower, it could hold true if all those 50 cals are able to just suppress the shit out of this bunker. But we'll have to see. Who knows? Maybe OPFOR will get lucky. I never say never, but it's looking more and more unlikely that OPFOR is going to be able to bounce back. They still have some very powerful assets to utilize. Again, those 2 truck objectives have 3 shielded 50 cals apiece on them, and you can get on them. And they do have ammo going in. These are vanilla assets. I believe the box would be empty if they didn't have any ammo. So it's entirely possible that OPFOR can still bounce back, but it's going to be hard. It's going to require a lot of coordination, and we'll just have to see how it plays. Yeah, now's the perfect time to have a blue-on-blue flamethrower event. You're not going to have it, though, because Blue 4 is going to pick up flamethrowers. Alright, chat. Let's have a bit of a 5-minute delayed dialogue. What do you think's going to happen here? We've got a lot of time still on the AO. We just hit the first hour mark, so second hour is starting to count down. OPFOR just brought their guys back to the truck position. They might try a new strategy. And these guys might also spend 10 minutes maneuvering up to this position so they can get all hands on deck. But Blue 4, I think, is just going to hold out here and, you know, wait it out. Why wouldn't they? No reason to go offensive. But what do you think Blue 4 is going to do? What do you think OPFOR is going to do? I'm still banking on they're going to just mount up and do one final huzzah. Or try to drive through the forest and sneak this objective. And again, if they can keep above 5 people alive till the end of the round, they can still tie. And at this point, I would be playing to tie for OPFOR.
So let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Now the rain's restarted. I'm going to be honest, this entire AO was actually really difficult for OPFOR in the first place because they were guaranteed to lose some of their force here if they decided to stay. I think if you really wanted to play this defensive, you should have OPFOR should have had all of their force run around away from Blue 4 spawns to concave around, meet OPFOR up here, and then with a unified battle line of sorts, take the highway, clear that out, and then move up to the outpost and clear it out. And just hope that your weapon advantage would get you the edge. Because these units, OPFOR was just too divided in the beginning because of how, you know, it spawned out. And that allowed for Blue 4, even though OPFOR had the better weaponry, to still maintain the numbers advantage. Because I will say, OFCRA, like, the players here are really good shots. Even with a bolt-action rifle, they can still get that first shot, especially with no body armor. You just have to hit them in the chest. That's all you need. So I think this force is trying to get close enough so they can hear if trucks are going to go up there. Or they're actually going to go physically up there. But just... You never want to be on the side with less people doing an attack against a force that has more numbers than you, regardless of weaponry, unless it's, you know, extremely biased. But there's a reason when they say when you do siege warfare, you have to have a 3-to-1 advantage to even think about winning. Let's count how many blue 4 guys are still alive, actually. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, 10 to 20. So blue 4 literally has double what Op 4 does. So if Op 4 were to go, you know, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, they might be able to bounce it back. But Op 4 really needs to just reconsolidate their force and do something. Yep, and now you've got that force that was pulling back. They're gonna break off into 2 smaller groups in Overwatch. And now, he's saying 30 minutes left, actually. So they lowered it from 2 hours to 1 hour 45, I think, as a bit of a mercy rule. That or it was always 1 hour 45. I think they're also trying to, you know, hint to Op 4 that they need to make a move here, because otherwise they're just wasting everyone's time. Well, Retro, they still have the BTR up here that can cover the trucks. It looks like they're going to ditch the trucks. So if that's the case, they're going to go for PvP then. They're going to actually try to wrestle the highway capture zone out of Blue 4 by leaving the trucks. It's going to deny Blue 4 any way to score on the trucks by blowing them up. But it also means Op 4 is not going to be able to get any points by putting the trucks in the capture zone. Because they know if they lose those trucks, it's a guaranteed loss at that point. So they are definitely trying a different strategy here. It's going to be a harder one. But I think they're relying that Blue 4 is going to be stretched thin because they're going to be spread against 2 objectives. So how many people got sent down to this objective? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a 7 force here and a 13 force here. 10 against 13 might actually be doable. But Op 4 has to rally everyone together. And if they only have 30 minutes to do it, what Op 4 needs to do in that time is get this Vic down. I'm actually really surprised they didn't just drive off the road right here and quickly get to there, but that's besides the point. Get this Vic over, pick up these guys, meet them somewhere, and then just sweep the highway and hope for the best. What Blue 4's mistake is right now is that they are spreading themselves too thin because they don't realize that Op 4, even though only has a smaller force, still has a considerable force if Op 4 regroups. So this is another team over here. This is 5. So 10 versus 5, 10 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Op 4 could actually still win if Blue 4 divides their forces like this. I get they're trying to cover more ground, but in reality, Blue 4 should have just kept the bunker position and maybe some Overwatch elements, because Op 4 could just sneak 10 people in the capture zone and win this point by default and get the 4 points. This is worrisome. So Blue 4 sent too much down to the outpost. I get them sending, you know, a team down here to cover, but in reality, again, just send one guy with a radio. They have had friendlies die. They can just pick up their radios and just send scouts instead. Because by dividing this much, they risk overextension, and that just might be enough for Op 4 to come in. I'm kind of hoping we see a clutch. That would be really cool. Plus, an apparently fireman would owe me $100. And people say I don't read chat. So we'll see if these guys are going to regroup with these guys if they take a right. But what they should do is come into here, dismount, grab the rest of these guys, and come in. But Zicky's a really good player. Sixor, Mickey Brewer, these guys did really well the last mission 2 weeks ago. Oh, no, that was 3 weeks ago. I'm actually... No, it was 4 weeks ago. I'm thinking of the embassy mission where these guys cleaned house. So we could still see a bounce back. I'm worried, though, because if these 6 go on their own in an attack, that's an even fight of 6v7. And then it could go either way. But what's going to end up happening is Op4 is going to make an attack, Blue 4 is going to recommit their forces down, and you're going to see a similar situation of what we already saw with Op4 when they had this massive battle line coming down and they tried to encircle that Blue 4 group, but Blue 4 was able to basically destroy the groups as they came in and wrestle the numbers advantage away. Blue 4 is going to basically do the same thing. The issue, though, is that Blue 4, when Op4 started that strat, Blue 4 had the numbers advantage. So if Op4 comes in even, then Blue 4 can still just overpower and eliminate the force. But I am seeing, no, they're dismounting. No, that's not what you want to do. And I know for a fact that both groups have radios because one is a command element and one is the leader with the radio here. So if they try a pincer maneuver, that's... Oh, it's risky. You want to have an overpowering element. If you're defending an objective, you want a 3-to-1 advantage. If you're attacking, you want a 5-to-1. That's all discounting power, multiplier, objective tower. Gotcha, gotcha. I don't know, I just remember my old rules from Risk. None of my friends IRL ever play Risk with me anymore. And if they do, then they make sure to beat me first. Something about strategy. I guess playing too much Arma has made me good at strategy board games. It's worrisome, because you'll have a 6v7 right here. It's hard to tell what'll happen. And then you've got a 4v5 against players that I know are really good versus 6 EME, which I also know are really good. And then you got this poor guy, Ozzy Assad over here, who's lost. So it's a 19 versus 10. Because I doubt he's going to make it back in time. But I think he's figuring it out. Well, so Retro, Blue 4 is not going to go look for the Op4 trucks because they have no idea where those things are. We have the luxury of knowing where they are because of a bird's eye view, but there's no way in hell Blue 4 is going to be able to figure that out. Why did someone just go unconscious? Did Vinny just OD? So hopefully someone's going to be able to save them, and we are seeing Blue 4 guys picking up Op4 guns, you know, Type 37 AKs and whatnot. But, you know, we've got some good automatic rifles here. And in a CQB environment, that's definitely what they're going to need. But if Op4 is able to set up an ambush... Oh, wow. You're kidding. So 6 EME, they're sending the group of these guys down the road to make sure Op4 hasn't come around in trucks. That's going to let Op4 have a number advantage here. A guaranteed number advantage, even if they do a pincer. And you just heard a stray gunshot. I think that was, I saw something on Blue 4 flash over here. But if Op4 is able to capitalize on this divide and conquer, you're going to have a lot of PvP to do. I could see Op4 bounce back doing the exact same strategy that Blue 4 did to put him in this position. I don't know. In my opinion, this is now Blue 4's game to lose at this point, based off of strategy. Personally, I still think Op4 is unlikely to win, but Blue 4 has set the table for Op4, and now it's just going to be up to the PvP. But Op4, again, needs to consolidate the entire force. Because a 6v7 is too risky. Maybe in an opening shot or two, by the SVTs picking off a few guys, they can turn it into a 6v5. But even then, CQB in here is going to be very, very tough. Against an AK and STG-44. Another guy's picked up an SVT. Really taking out that RPT guy is going to be the most important thing. But here's the deal. Op4, even if they take heavy casualties, if they can just hold the highway capture zone before Blue 4 can respond, they're still gonna win. Defeat in detail. That is the term for fighting lessened forces. Yep, I remember it now. So Op4 is trying to set up a lineup here. I don't think they have... Yeah, they can start poking at these things through the bushes here. Hold up, another 3-man team's breaking away. No. To go where? Overwatch? I hope it's at least Overwatch. If Blue 4 is gonna pull out of the highway... because they haven't taken the trucks out yet, and they've got no reason... So Blue 4 is banking on the fact that Op4 is sending the trucks down. And I thought Op4 was going to do it, but no, they're instead going to just go for the highway capture zone. So Blue 4 putting 3 guys out in the open right here, but they're talking, so they're not really overwatching. That could be 3 easy kills for Op4 to pick off, and then turn this into a 6v4. But you also have those 4 Op4 guys to the south starting to close in as well, but they're not close enough to do anything at the moment. Hold up. Yep, one of the Blue 4 guys just got picked off. Mr. Squirrel just took a hit. That was by, I believe, NASA. Yep. Now it's a 6v6. What was Blue 4 thinking? Now, I'm hoping we're going to see people quickly react and come down. You got Bluck getting engaged. Fleesh getting picked off. All right. It is now 5v6. Red Lid also getting shot out. Actually, that's Bluck. It's just the name of the faction. NASA taking some shots. It looked good for Op4 there, but they weren't able to capitalize on those 2 additional guys. So I believe the 150 mark is going to be Endex. 6 EME still haven't moved back north. And these guys haven't moved back north. So if Op4 closes the gap here and scores another and scores these kills and takes the bunker, Blue 4 is going to actually be in a lot of trouble and have to scramble to get back over to the highway. So Op4 popping some smokes. They might try to maneuver south. Got Op4 closing in. This could be a clutch. This could actually be a clutch. Blue 4 just suppressing where Op4 is going, seeing a little bit of movement through the tree line. Daedalus does have the flamethrower, so he has the perfect weapon to clear out these bunkers. He just needs to stay alive. There we go. 6 EME is now on the prowl. They'll be back in the AO in about 3 to 4 minutes. But will that be enough time for Blue 4 to hold this garrison? Potentially. But if Daedalus is able to run in here and start burning dudes, that's going to be it. Unless he kills himself, which is also possible. Sarcasm, Chad. I love it. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I honestly hope you keep enjoying the operations. And I really do hope you are staying safe among COVID. Nah, for real. Thank you, though. NASA also has a flamethrower, so he picked it up. That's not a smart idea because he knows there's Blue 4 guys overwatching, so if he's caught out in the open, he's going to get shot. So he's going to have to rely on other people to take these guys out. PHK might be able to set something up. He's a good player on himself. Got an AK with a drum mag. Might be able to pick off Dominic. And you're also seeing Blue 4 send another group from the outpost, and they're going to get in a bit quicker. But if Blue 4 can set up Overwatch and prevent Op 4 from coming in, that's going to be really helpful. Now you got NASA running in with the flamethrower. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. No! Oh, my God. Like I said, the perfect fucking weapon to clear this bunker out. Oh, I cannot believe we just saw that. Op 4 might be able to clutch this. Dominic also got picked off. Oh, I can't wait for you guys in chat to see that. That was fucking brutal. Look at all the dead Blue 4 bodies in here, man. Oh, NASA with his fucking flamethrower. Now he's going to bandage himself up because he did hurt himself with that. You got Bluck now clearing out this position. Vivi now walking around, trying to stay walking there so we can't be heard. NASA might be able to hear those footsteps. Yeah. So he just hurt himself there. He's making sure he's dead. And that is 4 kills for NASA and his trusty fucking flamethrower he found. My God. That's exactly why for the next multi-community project I'm going to do in April, I want to have a handful of flamethrowers in play. Because those weapons are so fucking nasty. But now, if Op 4 maintains control of this zone and has good Overwatch to prevent Blue 4 from coming in, they can clutch it. You got Block. No, no, there's blue on blue. No, Op 4, you don't want to do that. Please don't do that right now. No, that is... Come on, it's AK on AK. Have a brain. No, now they're going to leave, and this is going to let... No! No! Yes, go burn them. Go burn them, NASA. Squirrel's trying to run away as NASA charges after him, but he kills himself on his own fucking napalm. Bluck is able to get him. Oh, but Bluck is now taking a shot. Did it just fall apart for Op 4 because PHK is also unconscious? Blue 4 set the table for Op 4. Op 4 took it. And now Op 4 is floundering around. Sixor getting cut out of the open by a PPSH. That's the Rising. Never mind. The M55. Shadow spotting Ziki. Quickly pulls back. Sixor getting the flank on Shadow with enfilading fire. But a grenade knocks out both Ziki and Mickey. No! Op 4, you had it! Block is down. Daedalus has a flamethrower. Oh no! Sixor getting taken out by Blake. Did Op 4 just drop the ball? Yes, they did. What? No! No! We were so close to greatness! And then it just disappeared in the blink of an eye. It's like when I play stock market sometimes. It's like when COVID hit my stock market account. God damn. Beniot now crawling over. I don't see Ziki or Mickey waking back up. Daedalus running into the AO. He could hold that fort by himself with the flamethrower. But I think Blue 4, with the amount of bodies they still have left, would be able to wise up to it. But wow. For the record, I'm going to say it all started with a blue-on-blue incident. That gave away both Op4 positions to the two Blue 4 teams coming in, and it was just sweeping clear at that point. And now I have hiccups. All right, Daedalus. All eyes are on you. Guys, I don't know. I'm not feeling confident about this at all. NASA just roasted 4 dudes, was going for his 5th, and then burnt his feet off. Blue 4's reconsolidating these teams, but oh man, I don't like this. They're gonna bandage Clement. They still have 20 minutes now, actually 18 and a half to be specific, but I think statistically this is GG. Oh, man. It's just a heartbreaker. So Daedalus, I think, is just going to camp the zone and hope for the best. He's just going to chill in the bunker. Mickey bled out. They're not going to go check on him because they don't need to. Now you got 3 guys heading into the Blue 4 zone. I don't know what to say. I honestly am just speechless at this point. We just saw Op4 with a near perfect attempt at a clutch, and then just Thanos snap with blue on blue, an unlucky grenade nabbing 2 people, and then 2 other guys getting picked off in the open, and NASA stepping on his own flame. Ah. It was a close fight, though. At the very least, it was close. Op4 had an opportunity to bounce back. They were taking it, and then it just fell apart. Alright, we got Hood and McKinney now coming in. So they're adjusting statics there. They're trying to set up a Dishka, but it got set up in a tree and destroyed. That's unfortunate. Okay. So the Vietnamese had bolt-action rifles and old World War II-based guns, and the Chinese had SVT, which are 10-round rifles, and they had an RPD in every squad with a 75-round drum and AKs for the squad leads. All right, Daedalus. Yes. Get him. No. No, he got shot dead by snakes. No. I thought he had them pulling back and he was going to follow them and burn them. Oh. That's it. That's GG. Blue 4 wins. Oh, man, there it is. Vietnamese win with 10 people remaining. Zicky and Magshot are still bleeding out in a corner somewhere, but that's 6 points to the Vietnamese, and for some reason giving them 12 points, but that's fine. It's because of that other objective. But anyway, that is GG. We'll be back either at 8 o'clock or 7:30. If I'm back at 8 o'clock, it is because... trying to think. 8 o'clock, I'll be back for a charity thing. If I come back earlier at 7:30, it means I'm playing Granite Top on the ground. So thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and I'll hopefully see you again soon.